Hi, I'm Mk3 from Cortina City, and this is Crypton Chasing. Take it away, Smokey! Dave's on camera. Can you see the top of my head, Dave?
I can, yes.
I'm very excited. Come on in and join us. It's a Friday night. Welcome to the chat. Dave on the camera. Ruby takes it, Bramble takes it in a stride. Was we gunning that on that motorway, Dave?
Certainly was.
It is. It's a Granada! It's a... Whoa! It's a... It's a Granada! It is. It's a Granada! It's a... Whoa! Well, let's pull alongside it. It's a Granada, I think. What is it? It's getting away! It's a Granada! It's getting away! I don't think you'll be able to see it though. I'm so sorry. Okay, then if you can hear me, I'll just take you through some demos there of the controls, showing you that it all works. We've worked out, I hope you can hear me over the engine. These 4 buttons here, or the 12 altogether, you can knock out a cylinder with these to see what different readings you get when you knock out cylinders, to isolate stuff like bad valves, stuff like that. Also, the buttons can be used to bring up a separate individual trace. For example, we're now on the dwell setting, and you can see the coil and spark, the coil collapse field here, and you can isolate out different, or you can bring out different cylinders or different points in the sequence that it's firing. It's able to do that by timing everything off the ignition lead number 1 and off the king lead. People are asking, how does it know in the cycle where it is? Example, we go to 40k, changes here to don't know what that changes to, not sure, we'll have to check. But you can knock a cylinder out, so let's take out cylinder 3. You can hear that's running now on 3 cylinders, and you lose the trace, and it'll automatically bring it back in on its own, or you can bring it in yourself. So you can isolate out different cylinders, which is handy. Now how it does that is it knocks out it earths the coil contact breakers at just the right point for that cylinder by timing it out. It's clever how it does it. You don't have to connect a lead to each plug, it's all done by just 2 leads, look. Just 2 cables, and it's able to individually knock out a cylinder. Done on the contact breaker. You obviously be connected across your coil, which we are with the coil wires here. This cable connects to the coil, positive and negative. You can look at the coil voltage. In our case, we've got a ballast coil, so 9 volts is good for when it's running. Battery voltage will show up here as a waveform, that's correct. Battery when charging 14.3. Our RPMs there, that go to resistance if we want. Our resistance cables aren't connected, they're up here. If you short those together, you would get a resistance 0 ohms. We'll leave it on RPM. Switch to, I'm not sure what that one is, I think that's the voltage across each plug, not sure. So we're not sure of that, but I know this is contact breaker dwell, giving us 66, which it wants to come down a bit. We want to refer to the book and just see, I think it's around 40, 36 to 40, so we're going to change the points a little bit and drop that down a touch. Don't know if you open the points or close them to increase. I'd imagine closing them reduces the dwell time, because the dwell is the point when the points are open. So if they're wider, they're going to be open for, no, if they're wider, yeah, they'll be open longer. Yeah, they'll be open longer. So we're going to reduce the gap. The gap's probably too big. I think I set it at 0.6 on the contact breaker gap. The strobe lamp also gives you another 4 traces, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with those. This is rolling like the refresh rate, as though there's something needs tweaking on the settings. There's no controls to do it here. These are fine-tuned controls. Really what we want to do to set the RPM exactly correct, we would have to get a digital RPM gauge and set it up, because you can't rely on the car's tacho, and you can't necessarily rely on this because it's not been calibrated. So we need to calibrate that rev gauge. I don't quite get what it does. It's saying now with that arrow that we've gone to the RPM gauge, so there's our RPM. It doesn't display the RPM on there, interestingly. I don't know why. I'm sure that there is I'm sure that you can get that to display the RPM. I've done that, I'm sure I have. Coil voltage, spark plug voltage, not quite sure about that. There's no RPM, and there should, oh yeah, there is an RPM. Here we go. You get it when you go on the 40k button. Well, it doesn't show you that. So RPMs there, 1000 revs. So this arrow's now indicating to use that gauge, which is the resistance gauge, which is not connected. So anytime these arrows here are there for your resistance cables, indeed if we touch them together, I'm just going to go up, touch these together, we should get something there. I'm not quite sure exactly. No, we don't get anything. We probably will if we're... oh, you'd have to be on this. Now you will get something. There you go. So that's the resistance. So I'm still working a bit of it out. This doesn't do anything in that configuration. That's for a timing wheel, we don't use that. That gives you nothing happens when you do that. They're all resistance. These buttons are sticking. Yeah, you can isolate out. This looks correct. You can see the spark decay. You can zoom in as well, by the way. Press that to zoom in. I don't think you use this. Can zoom in. There, we get to zoom in now. I can't stabilise it. So it needs a little tweak to its controls, I would have thought. And we need WD on these buttons. $20K, $40K. So what we'll do, we'll use this now to set the dwell angle and just bring it down to the right spec. Hold on while we do that. For the dwell angle adjustment, well, it only applies when you've got points, because electronic ones are set, but you just adjust these two screws on the contact breaker points to adjust the heel of the cam on the point breaker, and it makes less contact with the cam. So the gap stays open for longer or shorter when that cam rotates and opens and closes the points. The idea being the coil's charged for a longer period of time, so you get a better spark. So you need that right so that your coil, the points are closed long enough to give the coil a full charge. So when it discharges, you get the nice spark. So get your dwell angle wrong and your coil doesn't perform as good, and that's where, again, where the Crypton machine comes in, because you can see the power of the spark coming out Oh, the adverts are on. You can see the power of spark coming out, changing when you alter the dwell gap. So we'll just see if that's altered anything now. Should have done. I've brought it in about 1 mil, so let's get that on there. I'm going to turn the radio off because I can't stand adverts. Okay, I'm just setting and calibrating the timing gun. It was out. I've used this gun, which I can only assume is good. So going on the timing lights, hold on, I'm going to take you right down to the actual lamp. So that's 12. So what you do, get this one, put it on till it lines up. Now lined up, and that's on 12 as well. So these two match each other, and I did that by tweaking the little screw in here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one along. You can tweak that. Basically what you do, use your other timing strobe to get your number, then tweak that screw with this in your hand, and you can set this then. So that's now calibrated. Our car is set on 12 degrees with a vac disconnected, 12 degrees. Now it says 6 degrees here on 97 octane, so I don't know, it runs good and doesn't pink. I'm going to leave it as it is because it's running nice. We have turned down the throttle, but it does keep going up to, it's gone up to 1000 minutes, although I've adjusted the dwell angle, that will have affected it. So really I need to readjust the tick over to get it back to 900 for automatic. So I'll turn that down. It's a bit tricky to get in when I've got the camera as usual. These are tricky at the best of times. And when we get it, I've got to lock it onto the screw. You have to feel around, you know this. Well, that was it then, it wasn't. I'm just trying to find the slot head, very hard to see. Let's try with a torch. Where are we? Still can't see. There we are. Now, the handy thing about the Crypton, because that gauge is big, that's the whole idea. I can now see me tick over on that nice big needle set for 900. There's an advantage straight away of the device. So that's a great, because it's just a nice big screen, the big needle, you don't have to keep low and see where you're at. So we now got it at 900. So everything's great there. If you rev it, it flips to the other gauge. Watch. So the needle will fly off the scale, then it comes back onto the lower range scale. I like that feature. There you go. I don't know if you can see it on there, but spark plug 3 has a different voltage spike. It's got a higher voltage spike. So watch when I rev it at spark plug number 3. Yeah, so you could investigate spark plug 3. They're all new, but it could be that spark plug 3's gap is different. Now the gap affects this. We can zoom in on this. We go to the other scope setting and then stabilize it. You can zoom in on one position, I think. So I'm not quite sure the theory behind this. I know that 5 millisecond button is a zoom in button. I just don't know how you stabilise it. Could be that we need to go inside the machine and make some tweaks. But there isn't a freeze button, I'm afraid, not that I can see. That would require a computer, you see. There's no way you could freeze this without it being an element of software involved, because it just doesn't work that way. Excuse me, I've got the garage doors open. Excuse me, that's what that fan motor was for. I'm making an exhaust extractor. You can see on here, just, I could probably freeze the video actually if you wanted. I'll take a still shot. Can't do it. Not much use that, is it? You always see that spark 3 is always higher. By quite a large amount. Plug 4 is quite low. So you've got quite a bit of difference between those two. That's going to either be a lead to doubt it because they're new, or plug gap. But your plug gap and your mixture affects the burn time and the way that the spark decays and burns. So you can use that, but at the moment we can't really get a zoom in on it. We need to. I don't think there's any other way you can do it. certainly need to adjust something on that monitor or inside this box. Now there is a capacitor blown in here, it could be that. So that would require a service manual to get it right. Not sure what the voltage refers to here. But it says voltage at the plug. I doubt it's 7.7 volts at the plug, so something's, I'm not sure what that's all about. But what I was trying to explain to you was that, if you can hear me anyway, over the engine, is that you can just see, just after the spike, when the spark begins to, that's the burn time. So you get a spike of voltage, then it ignites the fuel, and then the spark can travel easier through richer mixtures. So you can tell off the way that burn time goes how your spark plugs and coil are performing. You can use that to spot things. I think if we go on coil voltage, yeah, you don't get it there, that's just the collapse of the coil. Again, you can't really stabilise that and take it out on a 5 millisecond. You can zoom in. You've got to learn how to read these charts. Little Nuke might be able to help with that. But definitely you can use these spikes here to determine the richness of lean or weak mixture, or lean or rich mixtures will change the shape of the way that the spark burns. So that's handy to spot. I can't work out how to use the vac. I've connected that to the advance of the vacuum and tried to wind. I think this is meant to create a suction, but at the moment I can't get it to create a suction. The piston could be gone, but I doubt it. Something I'm not doing right there. We'll look into that. These buttons here are for doing voltmeters. You hardly use those, and you use this internal input for those. So you flick to that, and then you put your power onto there. You get a scope lead for it. This. You could try it if you want. I've not tried that yet. This one. We'll give that a try. So yeah, you can use all these features to ID the car. So we've got the timing at 12. That doesn't stay in very well. It just spits it straight out. We'll have to get a better connection on the end of this, but I'm going to check this probe. But yeah, this car's running alright anyway. And to get what do we get the dwell at now? Dwell is now at 49, 48. So opening the gaps lowers the dwell, closing the gaps increases the dwell. So the points weren't quite open enough. It works the opposite way. So they're asking for, that's within spec. On the console Cortina it's showing it's 48 to 50 something. On the 2 litre Capri and Cortina it's showing it's I think 38 to 48, something like that. But it's within. And if you want to drop it down a bit more, you just open the points up a bit more. But that's a great tool. Our RPM staying nice there. That's just showing the coil. I think that might be the spark burn time. In fact, I think it is. Actually, it is. So we can get the spark burn time here. I think I've just sussed it out actually. Yeah, I think you can. Let's go zoom in on that. I think that's the burn time there. I think that's the burn time. There, and you can look at separate cylinders because that's coming off the king lead, so that is your spark burn time. But we're getting a little bit of interference, so there is something a little bit amiss with it, but not much. That there gives you burn time, so it might need this. It might be that this needs a tweak. Probably does. That's a better view of the burn time. We'll look into it. We'll keep researching, but it's going good. I'm going to try and get that to work, and I'll catch you in a sec. Okay, so I've got this probe hooked up. Indeed it does work. We go to 20 volts and this will show, if I connect this to the battery, the line represents a volt gauge now, and it'll jump up to like 14 volts. Going on now, and it jumps up. You can see that, just under 14. It means the scope's not way out. In fact, you could actually check on here our battery voltage. Okay, 14.2. So I need to be exactly on the naught line, which I'm not. So I'll go exactly on the naught line and now go for it. Just on. I'm not going to argue with that. So that's sort of within its range. So this acts as a handy scope probe for when you're testing electronic ignition and stuff, and computer modules. So you can probe that in and it'll give you different waveforms on here. In fact, you can see my body picking it up. We go to 2 volts, so it's more sensitive. You can see like electrical noise. Look. You could, in theory, if you put it onto my chest with a pad, you'd get a heart trace, although 2 volts is not quite enough to pick it up, but you'd get a heartbeat coming up. Not sensitive enough really for that. So that's a handy probe. If I hold it and connect my body to the earth of the building, you'll probably see it change. Look, my body's earthing. In fact, it actually shouldn't do that. That's indicating something's loose, I think. Touch something. Oh no, it's not, because I'm just touching any metal. Look, touch any metal. I'm picking up now. You can start to see the AC mains waveform coming in, because it's inducing itself into metal cabinets. I hold this here and watch. It's picking up 50 Hertz. I'll grab hold of a mains lead and there's 50 Hertz. If I hold this near the mains cable, you should get something. What you're seeing there is the mains, so that's a great little scope and it's working. So this is an upgrade to the unit. It's a scope. They don't all have that. Can't work that out yet. We have to keep working on it. Works out the RPM. In fact, if we want to get the exact RPM, we'd have to get ourselves a proper calibration unit. Then you'd turn another one of these screws here to calibrate your RPM to get it exactly correct. Well, it seems to follow the clock. So that's good. That's those buttons explained. These buttons are explained. These can knock out cylinders or pick out an individual scope reading off a cylinder. So that's what those. The 5 millisecond basically zooms in on the window on a portion of the scope. 2-stroke and 4-stroke there. This turns the engine off. Those correspond, the 4 buttons there just correspond to that gauge. So all those 4 associated with those 4 arrows, or there's 6 on here, but 2 of them are automatic, auto ranging. So that's just that. That's why when I hit that 100 ohm button, this drops out, because the resistant probes aren't connected. They're up here. It then becomes these. Back to RPM. So that doesn't do a lot. It's mainly on this. On the other motorscopes, these ones, they're split into 2. Okay. So that's that. Timing light, we know, we've done that. We know this is that symbol indicates a spark plug being earthed out. And now these buttons become active to earth out cylinder. You can almost stall the engine if you want. Running on 2 cylinders. Wow, chugging on 2 cylinders. Listen to that, chugging on 2. And then it knocks it out. It'll only let you do it for so long. You can smell the unburnt fuel when it does that. Even with the window fully open, you've got to be really, really careful about carbon monoxide. So that's my next point. I'm going to switch off now. We're going to talk about carbon monoxide. And if you're doing this at home, how we're going to use some kind of fan like that, this heat-proof fan, to draw the fumes out here. Let's go and talk about testing kryptons and fumes. Switch off. We won't close the garage door until fumes have died down a bit. So what you don't want to be doing is letting the fumes creep in, especially if there's positive pressure there or the wind's facing that way. You're not actually going to be getting everything out, and CO can creep up on you. You can feel sleepy, fall asleep, engine could be still running, and you could be dead. So ventilation is going to be really important for this. Okay, really is. We've got to make sure that we draw those fumes out. That's why I'm going to get that electric fan rigged up and create my own extraction system for it. It's very tempting, especially if I've got 4 cars to keep in tune. One day I don't want it to be where the fumes get in and overwhelm me, so careful with that, everybody. If you're doing this, make sure that you've come up with a solution to ventilate your car, because inevitably the krypton's going to be inside, isn't it? Whereas if you were tuning up, you'd normally instinctively be outside on a sunny day doing your tuning. Well, it's hard to bring this outside. Yeah, we could push further back the car, but it's very portable, isn't it? So we could push the car so its tail end's sticking right out, you know. But it'd be nice to get an extraction system running. Okay, I've got radio 6 on at the moment. It's some kind of chilled out hour. I'm just going to turn that down in case. So I hope I've explained most of the features on this. We're going to go and roll this car out now, and we're going to bring Bramble in and see how it compares. Here we go. I think I've worked out a great way of making me quick connectors to the those posts on the coil. Just wrap these springs round like this, a little one of those assorted spring boxes, and so if I solder that up now, then just put a little bit of heat shrink over the end, then these sort of stretch over the posts and stay well connected, and then you still got room to slide over the connectors for the loom of the engine bay, the car's loom. So like nice little post connectors there we've made. That's quite a little idea I had. Quite pleased with myself there. Yeah, what a great idea. Let's get the soldering iron on, solder them up and heat shrink them up and colour code them. Great. Okay, I couldn't quite get the the plugs to fit all with the spring connections on. So what I've done, I've just soldered two crocky clips on, heat shrunk them on, so they slide onto your coil, and then you just hook in to your leads on the crock clips. So that works that way as well. If you ever had a different type of connector or you needed to do something else, you can crock clip in. So it's a bit more multifunctional, but it works. They grip the posts of the coil really nice, and then like I say, you just hook in to your loom. Now I'm going to test it now. Great, I'm happy. Welcome aboard. You know, we talked about the Crypton gun colour. We 2-packed it in red, and we're going for a new sheathing. Got some new stuff in from eBay. This original cable was all chopped up, crushed, so I'm just stripping it back now. We're going to pull the old sheathing off. We've had to chop the cable, strip down the gun. It's just over here. So we've got bits from the gun. I've put a new glass on this, which the new perspex I cut, a new securing O-ring in there, and a little bit of mastic to hold it in, silicon black. Internals of the gun are okay. Here's where we cut, so we've got to solder back there. We'll do that joint inside the gun. Gun casing, as I said, in 2-pack. The wires here, there's 8 cables to solder, but first we've got to pull off the old bits of sheathing. Not much to get off, but I'll get them, just broke it down into sections so I don't put any strain on the cables themselves. And this stuff's quite good. This is slightly better. It's stainless steel flexi with sort of spiral wound on itself. That's what gives it the flex. Slightly larger diameter, but it was the closest I could get to this. Quite tricky to find the spiral wrap stuff in 10mm. Anyway, could even be less than 10mm actually, but this will do. This will work. What I'll do is slightly enlarge the hole at the base of the gun. Should have really done it before I painted it, but it don't really make much difference because this just needs a slightly larger diameter hole. It'll go. So I've got the, I'm just going to use the die grinder to take that out, and then you can set this up, cut this to the exact same length as the original, and then once we made that chop there, we use an angle grinder or hacksaw for that. We can then thread the cable through, do the solder join, and hook it back to the machine. That should be it. The gun will go back together, just screws and bolts, and that's the gun on the Crypton finish. I think that's the last thing to do on it. Then when I've done that, we're going to move across here and strip this down, get that into bits. There's a lot of rivets and bits and bobs to strip to get the metal parts done. We've got the scope going, so we know about that. Got some capacitors on the way for these modules, separate modules. Found a lot of damaged parts on there. I've got my old bench light back, got to drill a hole for that. So plenty going on. There's some more capacitors here to start soldering in. This one is next in the line, but Pete C's got you a very special surprise coming up soon. A behemoth, if there is such a word, of Cryptons. We've got another Crypton machine, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, here's the reveal. Another Crypton machine. Join me on a road trip, hopefully. We're going to go down to an old school garage, the remains of an old school garage, and get another one of our 60s machines. But this is the ultimate machine. We had the baby, we had the junior, we had the senior, but we got the daddy, and it's bigger, much bigger. Okay, so things are going good with the Power Spark gun. 2-pack red, all ready to go. I've got a decal to do. It came without the decal, been missing, but I'm sure that should say Power Spark there by Crypton on an inlay there, a little recess. Done the soldering up the wires because it had to be cut to extract the cable and reinsert it into the new cable. That's nice now and looking really brand new. and it coils up good. So it goes all the way round to this plug here, the Molex plug, and I've metered through now from pin to pin and point to point. Now, a curious thing that happened was that the wires actually fade out on the colours, and at this point it was difficult to get the colour matches cable back to cable, even though there's only a short period. There must be like a bit where they've faded out, so I had to meter it. At this end, the colours are a bit easier to read, so basically what you have to do, sorry, at this plug end, at the plug end, sorry, here, like yellow there, by the time it gets to the end of the cables, it almost becomes a very faded orangey yellow. So to make sure that each wire was what it was supposed to be, I had to meter it. So when it comes out at the end of this run, the colour's faded, but into the gun, the gun side where I'd cut it, it's a little bit brighter. It's as though there's a sort of patch around here where the colour just faded, just at the point where I'd cut it, so it made it difficult. Black to black was okay, red to red was okay, brown almost became orange if you look. Can you see that? That the orange is actually brown, but it's not. By the time you meter the brown wire, it's turned back into orange at this point. And that confused me a little bit. Okay, but they are all metering out correct. So if I get the meter on the orange cable, it should reach the orange inside the gun, which it does. Just easy to come a cropper there if you're not careful. The two shells go back together. Here's the end with the dwell or the spark advance gauge, the timing advance gauge rather. That's been refurbed. It's actually a perspex front on that. I got some perspex, drew a circle, chain drilled it, then filed it smooth, and the disc inserted itself under the rubber lip of this. And then I made a new bezel here. That's just a piece of PVC tubing with a little wire link holding it together, and then I've got black silicone RT holding that ring on. It was just to tidy it up a little bit. So that's that. So the gun is done. Gun. Oh my god, the lyrical couplets are flying out tonight, ladies and gentlemen, out there. So that's that bit. I should be able to put the two halves together now once the heat shrink's gone on. So we've got some adhesive lined heat shrinks, tough stuff. 4-on-1 shrink. So while that looks quite big, I'm going to fold those over and then just pinch them together, slide the heat shrink on. 8 joins all together. I'll double check the continuity, plug pin to plug, wire to pin rather, just make sure, because even though I thought it was okay, I just still can't believe that brown is orange. I'm just going to double check it. I'm almost sure that it is, and it's just the way that it turned out. Indeed, on here you can see it slowly becoming a colour change. Very strange that. Not to worry. Here's the timing lamp itself. It's a xenon strobe. It works off a high voltage discharge through a capacitor. The charge builds up in the capacitor. When it discharges, it sends a burst of high voltage energy out into the xenon tube, exciting the gas and causing the high flash that you get, the powerful strobe effect. It is actually a strobe, same as you'd have in a disco. Remember those discos when we were young folks? Were you there in the 80s, dancing away, maybe getting off with a girl? Those were the days. Perhaps you're from the 70s. Who knows? But strobes were big, certainly in the mid-80s, and then right the way through to the discotheques. You have some curious little rubber bungs that fit into these holes here like this. Very curious. Why they'd have those holes there, bung them up with these, I have no idea, but they went in like so. 2 of those, there's another one somewhere around. Anyway, that's about all I'm going to say about the gun, except to say the two halves will go together. We've got some little nuts and bolts. Here they are. Got 3 of these. And they've been in the acid dip to clean them, in the de-rusting solution, so they've come up shiny. So the little detail in it is there. We should be done with a decent looking timing lamp. The little P-clip here bolts through, squeezes down very tightly on that cable, stops it pulling. And At the end here it has a rubber liner which you slide on, and the idea behind that is it stops these cables chafing on what would be a metallic end where I've cut the tube. Now I use some silicone to squeeze down as well and then push the bung in so that it can't work its way loose. As you flex this cable, you do get movement in the cables, and if you didn't have the rubber grommet bung at the end here, eventually they'd chafe through. A little bit of sealant went in, a little bit splodged over the side, but it's okay. It could have been a little bit neater perhaps, but I'm being a bit harsh there. I'll scrape off some of the excess. There we go. Done. So I'm going to screw the two halves together. Then, like I said just earlier on, we need to get on and get these metal pieces of this re-chrome plated and dipped, because as I've mentioned, we're not going to shot blast this model. We're going to dip it, because I found that the shot blasting on thin panels can be hit and miss. It can be dangerous. You can get warpage. Luckily with the later Crypton, the 335, it was a one panel, the drawer, that got a little bit of a warp on it. I managed to hammer it straight. I don't want something like that panel getting warped. Looks like our industrial shot blaster, guys, is good for thicker metal, but you got to be careful on the thin panels, especially a panel as large as that. So they will not be going in for shot blast. They will go to a dipping tank, much more subtle, less aggressive. Then present them to the powder coaters pre-done and ready, so all he has to do is put the powder coat straight on. Okay, we do powder coat rather than paint. You could get this up in the gun. There is that possibility, of course, where these could be sprayed with an air compressor line as opposed to powder coated. Final decision on that will be made. I believe the Crypton, the yellow Crypton, was powder coated. I think these are painted, so we have to make that decision. I would say powder coat personally. Other purists have got different ideas. Carrying on now, put the gun back together. I'll catch you just a second. You're on the tech bench. Okay, the gun is done. We always get you that couplet in, don't we? So that's looking nice in its holster in Crypton red. Our gauge at the end. Our new cable attached, soldered up. I haven't tested it yet. I triple checked them wires. Okay, triple check the wires. I'm thinking it's going to work. Can't see why not. I kept on checking those colour codes because, as I say, the wires faded out. But into the holster we go then, and that completes that job, making a nice finishing touch to our 335 Motorscope, a beautiful piece of kit. And of course I promised I'd get back onto these, but before I do get back onto the 60s models, something's come in. The Behemoth. The Behemoth is the wrong pronunciation of the word. Behemoth. It's a monster. It's Jurassic Park. It's huge. It's a Behemoth. It's a Crypton. It's a Motorscope. This is the junior. The senior's partly stripped down over there. It's Friday night. You're watching Pete C at Cortina City. You're watching the Crypton madness. You're watching the Mad Professor. It's Crypton crazy. And we've had calls in. There's another Crypton waiting to be collected. Well, welcome to go and get it and collect it. It's a monster, this one. If that was the baby, and this was the junior, if this was the senior, okay, we're going to go and pick up the granddaddy, and it's bigger, it's bigger, it's bigger, it's bigger, it's bigger, much bigger. Let's go and get it. Just down from my usual pit stop for fuel. I always stop here at junction 27, and look everybody, the electric charging station is up and running. Looks like they've put all these cars in here to test them. I don't know, they just seem oddly parked unless they're the contractors' cars, but this is the future, everybody. It's unfolding right before your eyes on YouTube, on Cortina City, in the news, as we witness really a quantum leap
in car technology, really. It's all changed, isn't it? This is the future's arrived. Look at this huge charging station here, this 8-bay charging station. Getting up, looks like DRB seem to be in control of it. But look at this. This is where it's going to be with electric cars, like manufacturers saying 2030, and they're not building any more internal combustion engines. Is it the end of classic cars? A guy there checking the pump nozzles. Well, they're not even pumps, are they? They're electrical nozzles. But this is the future, everybody. It's arrived, and just for now I'm going to have to do a good old bit of 97 and stick to the old school. It's a very nice petrol station at Junction 27. Less and less people doing the masks now. Normality slowly edging its way back in. No need to wear a mask if you're outside, absolutely no reason at all. Inside, fair enough. Outside, no need at all. Absolute nonsense, you've been brainwashed. No need for the mask outside, so take it off, you don't need it. Outside, and stress outside, nowhere else. 2 people there, no masks on, doing good. I think everyone's coming back to normal. This stupid wearing a mask outside business. Just maybe you forget to take it off. Don't need it. Junction 27, one of my favourite little pit stops. We've put 30 litres in and reset the odometer, so we're going to see if we get our usual range. I think I normally get 180 miles out of 30 litres, I think. I don't remember if that's right. I pulled 28. Between 160 and 180 miles on 30 litres. 31 litres, about 45 quid that cost. You're on the road with Pete C and Project Bramble, breaking every rule as usual. Looking forward to getting reported, looking forward to all your moaning. Pete C Cortina City is on the road, and we are going to pick up the behemoth. Not the behemoth, the behemoth. Behemoth. What's that word? It means it's huge and gargantuan, massive, huge, epic, large, monstrous. What else have we got? What other superlatives? Adjectives. Pete C with the adjectives at Cortina City, M6 southbound, heading to Bromsgrove, picking up from a little bit of a retro-ish petrol station. It's had a revamp, but you can tell from the Google Earth shots that it must have been at one point one of those lovely little old school garages. Back on the POV, Pete C. Now you might think, how are you going to get it in Bramble? Well, I'm actually meeting someone who's not that far away, so we're going to load up. I've gone down just to take it apart, really, and a bit of a road trip, to be fair, just to get out. I'll just stick it in cruise and just get out. I could have gone down in the vehicle with him, but I'd have to wear a mask the whole way. I don't want to do that. I'd rather go in my own car. That's how adamant I am. We're going to pick up Crypton Tune-Up Centre, the big one with a big sign on top, wide. I think it's got the power meter, the combustion meter on it. This is the big daddy. Who's the daddy? Who's the daddy now? I'm the daddy now. Who's the daddy now? Who's the daddy? I'm the daddy now. I'm the daddy. Where's your tool? I'm the daddy now. I'm the daddy now. Catch you in a bit. We're on the road. I'm just taking it nice and easy. Does it every time. Well, welcome to your driver's eye view for this little journey uptake on the trip to get the Crypton. We're south now of Birmingham on the 42, making very good progress. Very quiet and smooth road conditions, the best I've probably ever known. You're going to get an intermittent chime on the sat nav simply because it thinks we're in a 30 zone. It's not updated its temporary speed restrictor, whatever it was for. So we're heading for Bromsgrove for this pickup. Got to take the Crypton machine apart because it turns out we're in an estate car to collect it in. It's not ideal. They are pretty easy to split into two sections. I'm just hoping we can get it in the back of this Vauxhall. I don't know, it looks a bit tight. I think we might have to sort of lift it and drop it in. I might have to put the main unit on the front seat. I'll be taking the scope out anyway, but we'll see. Yeah, just an update for you. Sat nav giving 7.5 miles to our exit. M5 now. In fact, were we on the M5 in the first place and I said M40, you idiot? So we'll go past Fuzz there on the left hand side. I fuzzed. There you go, hello. 7.2 miles and then 12 minutes away. So we're closer than we think, folks. Only 12 minutes away. So yeah, we're going to be seeing this machine. I can't wait to see it, to eye the beast up. It's exciting times. Completes the Crypton set of that era. Completes the set. And you heard that tone change there on the engine as a torque converter lockup switched in. Beautiful cruising car. Just chomps away at the miles like a chocolate chomp bar. Don't know this area that well, although we do have viewers that are from around this area. Perhaps Mark's Rods is watching. Does he know where we are, Mark? Junction 3, Kidderminster. Have we got there already? Mark's Rods, we've gone past your place. Mark Rogers probably, I don't know, he watches but he doesn't say much. Mark, hello. Mark, hello. Who else we got around this area? I don't know, plenty of Brummy people. We'll keep you posted anyway. Looking forward to seeing this sort of 60s sign on the top of the machine as well, and just seeing how the gauge is laid out. Can't wait to get it back to base. Really enjoying the drive down too. I wouldn't like to have been a passenger in the estate car, to be fair. Nothing against Dave, our driver today. Just I like to be in my own little space, my own cabin, and well, someone would only moan that we're not in the bubble and we're in a car, so it can't be done. Okay, see you in a sec. Let's traffic in. Just thought I'd give you some thoughts on the traffic. It's unlikely in our lifetime that you'll ever see the motorway network this quiet ever again, universally, you know, across the entire network, not just localized. Look at these empty, clear roads that we've had most of the way down, where the outside lane's just there for the taking, there for the prize, there for that 80 mile an hour prize. Just there for the taking. Look at that monstrosity. Hope that's not you watching. Oof, too big. Oof, ooh. At least it's not a Euro box, but it's not bloody far. These big MPV things. Ooh, horrible. Worcestershire then. We leave Birmingham in the Midlands for Worcestershire. But yeah, it's unlikely in our lifetime you're ever going to get roads like this. I've not had to stop for one piece of traffic this entire 100-mile journey. Okay? When are you ever going to get that again? Obviously, because of the lockdown, the traffic's reduced. Markedly reduced. I know a lot of people say, you know, people still going out and about, well, they're not on the motorway network, and you're just never going to see this again once it all goes back, unless there's another crazy outbreak. Unlikely, statistically speaking, this will be the last time, and then the next time it happens, all these vehicles will be electrified. I'll be dead and all these will be electrified, most likely. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll still be alive. I might be a bit harsh on myself. If I'm dead, you probably are, because we're all the same age group. I'm thinking about when we're 90 to 100, unless they come up with anti-aging micro robots that they can inject into our bloodstream stream to rehearse. I'm getting all my words mixed up. Reverse is rehearse. Stream is scream. Help me. Yeah, inject these nanobots. Coming off now. I'm going to get going. Enough rambling. Nanobots, everybody. Nanobots. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bromsgrove. Are you from Bromsgrove? Chadsgrove, Bromsgrove, this area. We're about to land, so let's go to this garage and check it out. Looking forward to this. They might have other goodies too. Okay, so it's got to be down here somewhere. Got my eyes peeled. There'll be a garage here. This looks like this is it, coming up on the right. Possibly. No, that's not it. We're looking for a garage. Oh, nice church there. Oh, that's lovely. We're on the right road. We could have gone left instead of right, but the plough and the harrow closed. Here it is. Give me a sec. Straight away I spot a classic, and some motoring memorabilia there. Look, loads of trophies. We've got a classic car owner, a Triumph 2000, one of my personal little favourites. What a welcome we've got. And these pumps, I don't think they're in use. This is great. But look at this. We get a 2500 injection. Sheldon, let me know. There's the tuner waiting for us in the window, look. Wow, let's get filming. And that's like an old school. This is old school. This is old school. Wow, you can just tell this kind of garage would have been something in the day. And what a lovely welcome for us. Let's get out and film and see what it's all about. What a lovely welcome for us. Is someone stopping for fuel? Is this actually fuel? No, can't be. It can't be. Looks like this could be one of the owners. No, he looks very unhappy, that guy. He's in looking very stressed. Wow, strange man alert. Switch on the strange man alert. Strange man alert. See in a sec. Wow, I like that. I want it. Want to buy the Triumph 2500, please. Take away. The bonnet is up, so something's going on. We're expecting Sheldon to be getting excited now. Okay, it's not a Rover P6, Sheldon. Look what we got. This is exciting. Hey, I like the old school lettering up there. Look, can you see that old font? Let's go downtown and check this Crypton out. We've arrived. We've arrived in the Crypton. As I'm with Noah. Noah is happy. Oh, Mark, sorry, it's not Noah. Mark is happy. We thought he wasn't happy when he got out of the car, but he is happy. And this is the Crypton machine. Noah's not here, but I think we're going to be paying Mark, so that's that. We don't know the story on it. Whose was it, Mark?
It was my father's.
Wow.
He bought it in the 60s, I think it was.
Wow.
We used it right the way up until we replaced it with a big Sun machine.
Yes, some machines are a bit posher, aren't they?
Yeah.
Did you used to use it?
No. It
No.
was before my time.
So, when did it stop getting used, do you think?
I think it was middle of the 70s, I think.
Okay, so middle of...
To the Sun.
Okay, and then you just decide to wheel it out of the way?
Yes.
A lot of people scrapped them.
Somebody to have a go
It was
restoring it.
It was lucky that it never got scrapped, because I bet they chucked a lot of these away.
A lot of it to it. Yeah, we got rid of the Sun one. But there's just something very, very retro about it.
Right, so you're getting the same feeling as me.
Yeah,
it's like sci-fi, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Space age and
something
sci-fi.
you don't see in a garage today.
Well,
so.
I've got the junior model, and I've got the senior model of this. They go up to about there.
Yeah.
They've got less gauges than this, but they've got that. And I've managed to get one of them going. Needed some new valves, but I've got one fired up now.
One thing we did notice,
Yeah.
the gauges are upside down. And
Yeah,
didn't
that's
know
very
why,
interesting.
whether that's
Wow.
how they're built.
No,
or...
this module should be that way round.
Oh, right, okay.
That slides out, and you just flip it. See, look, it's coming out now.
Yeah.
You just flip that. I mean, it might be that I can't get it going. Someone's been in there, of course, but it's all complete. Looks like there might be some goodies inside here.
There's all the, books.
This is what we love. Oh my God, it's fucking...
Service
I
dates
thought
and all the...
a rat was going to jump out at me then. Wow, this is what we like. We find history here, folks. The viewers love all this. They love all this, David. Oh, Pete's got it. Open it up. There's all sorts of... What's that there? It looks like a strange device. What the hell that is? We're not going to say anything in case the owner decides, oh, we should have took that out. Let's get out quick while we're ahead, folks. Come on. That cladding there, Mark, it looks like... Is that still what's still out
It's
there?
rendering. Well, no, it's
Right.
unfortunately that came off. We've got some boarding over the top there, and then these windows were changed down there.
So
that's from the early Early 60s, late 50s, early
Yeah,
60s.
you can see the pumps on it there.
Yeah.
Look at that van. I wonder what that van is just in the corner of the picky.
Morris Minor there.
Yeah, mine at the front, and that font, that lettering looks like he's kept the lettering
Yes, we've kept all that.
and restuck it on the front. He's not daft, is he? He knows the score. That till's from the 80s. Proper 80s till, and then there's some little trinkets and
no
things.
money in it though.
No, and some trinkets in here.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine the customers coming in waiting for the MOT? Is this shop still open, or it's just storage?
No, it's just storage.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a nice car. Is it?
That's me and my father.
Wow. Outside the front of the garage there, yeah.
Yeah, years and years ago.
What car we got there?
MGB GT?
Yeah, V8 then, isn't it?
No, that one's the 1.8.
Okay.
Yeah, we just rebuilt that.
Great. Right, we'll get Dave's on camera. Can you see the top of my head, Dave?
I can, yes.
I'm very excited. Come on in and join us. It's a Friday night. Welcome to the chat. Dave on the camera. Ruby takes it, Bramble takes it in a stride. Was we gunning it on that motorway, Dave?
Certainly was.
Here's for you. Fancy a tune-up, Dave?
Oh, my car needs a tune-up. I'll bring my car around later for the tune-up.
Behemoth. Look at it. I can't say this word behemoth, which means big. Behemoth. Someone's put that in upside down, but don't worry, we'll flip that round. There's our Dynavision there, Dave. Some old school pumps, and look at this garage. Kept the original signage and stuck it back on when we restarted the building. Can you believe it? I couldn't believe it. That's the original sign from like the 50s. Wow, and look at this one. Got December 74 on the taxis. Look, that's got to be a Reaper that he's had made. It's too good condition not to be. I'm very tempted, Dave, to move over to the dark side. I want one of these. I like these cars. Love this little rake back window there. Love the dashboard's a bit like the Dolomite on the dash. It's a cracker, it is. It really is, Dave. I want one. Look at this. Oh! Look at the red stripe. You can imagine a chip shop owner could own this one. Frying tonight. I'd swap them for the other place, so I don't do the rocket silver. This is nice. This is in very good condition. It's a nice car. 2,500 injection Mark II. I didn't even know they did an injection. That's my knowledge of classic cars. Useless. Beautiful car. Just imagine this down here. 85, 90 in the outside lane. Willowing like that. Woo! Great stuff. Only one exhaust pipe, but I think that's normal. It's open as well. Stick the camera in there. Radio cassette. Look. Acres of wood and velour. Acres and acres of real wood and velour. Twist control lamps, twin stalks, horn on the right, wipers on the left. Got all your 4 gauges there, your essential gauges. No, 3 essential gauges, 5 altogether. 6 if you include the light cluster, and then the 7 if you include the Kenzel clock. Beautiful. Good headlining. This car's tidy. I want. I want. Oh, the pièce de résistance. I'm so excited about my new big Crypton machine. Okay, that'll do for now. Right, we're going to take the top off this, sort of jiggery pokery in, but we've got it. This is the big Crypton. This is that's the garage. This is a bit of a time warp. Talking of time, we don't want to take too long. We're going to head off, get the top off, we're going to get back on the road. Let's get it in that car. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but we can do it. Yeah. Let's get this screen out. The Dynavision, folks. This is it. Keep supping your beers, everybody. Push Bradley out there. Peter Barker's in. Wayne's in. Ali Mac Mechanical in Scotland. Away, Battle of Scots for Ali Mac. Here we go. Oh, here we go. That's the way. That's the way you do it. So that's straight out. Into we go here. That's it. Safe. Blanket ready. The Dynavision tube is safe and sound. In that, so that's separate because we don't know what Dave's driving's going to be like. We'll carry on now and get the top off. See you in a sec. Right, we're off in a minute. 2 into 1 will go. What car's this, Dave? Sigma? Signum. In straight in the back of the Signum. The back screen was already smashed. Who broke the back screen?
Me.
Right, it's Dave's fault. There we go, look. 2 into 1 will go. Look at this lovely 60s style font. And these crazy instruments. Someone's been playing, but you never know. That's just been an accident. Everything's complete though. We're good to go. We're going to get back on the road. Someone's been winning some trophies, haven't they? Wonder what they've been winning with. I think they're that Formula 2 car that they've got. I don't think I can quite see it with this. It's because it's reflecting. Just imagine that in the 60s and 50s, this setup here. That's it, we're going. Hit the road, Jack. What do you want to do as your destination? Okay. It went in the back of the, whatever that car's called, by taking the head off it. The machine's a bit beaten up. To be fair, the spec on it doesn't look as good as, it's certainly nothing like a 335. And I know I'll be using the 335. It's more of, this is going to be more of a piece of furniture really. I'll get the scope going. I don't think I'll get that power meter going. That looks like a pretty technical piece of kit there. The power meter looks like quite an advanced gas analyzer of some sort. That would require some crazy calibrations, so let's just see. I think we're going to go on a different route back, just in Starbridge now. Whenever you turn off, you know this if you've got a sat nav. I'd have thought we'd be going this way, but whenever you've got a sat nav and you come out of a side road, it can never lock on to whether you're going left or right. In this case, nope, still not got a signal. We look okay there, we're good to go. Bit of a crazy mission that really. 105 miles altogether that was. Curiously going back on the toll. We really need to go on the toll. Interesting bit of history on that garage. Yeah, the top sign I was hoping illuminated, but no joy. It's quite a dim affair really. Looks the part. I don't really know why it's so wide. It's such a wide, monstrous machine. You could get all that kit compacted a lot better than that. I actually rate the other models better than this one. Obviously it's too late now, I've bought it. I mean, I don't regret it, but I don't know if it is the daddy after all. Who's the daddy? Who's the daddy? Dark Dangerous will be going this way back. Old Range Rover there laid up. Rotting as well, a whole back hatchet disintegrating. Well, out in the sticks. Out in the countryside, yeah, why not? Rehoming. See a little bit of the countryside today. us then on board Bramble with the machine ahead of us in the Stourbridge area. Very nice where we are today here. Making sure that you're alright. I have to occasionally check, folks. Hope you can hear the sound. I'll knock out the heaters completely. We go straight on. Wow, unsuitable for heavy goods. You always know it's going to be fun when you see that sign. Let's just dive into this corner and then round, because that was tricky. That was a bit blind. That was. Wow, and here comes a car. Sure enough, sure as heck. It's been resurfaced, the road, but it's narrow. It's narrow. That's it. Cut the corners. Straight into the junction. It's alright. Let's go. Wow, what a disaster. So, old Coroni, you and me are gonna make a deal. A great deal. Some say the best deal, Coroni. Hey, I think that's a classic ahead. Looks like a Merc. Classic alarm is on. Waymaker is in. Classic alarm is on. Are you looking forward to getting home and unpacking all the goodies? I spied some goodies inside the Crypton machine. Yes, it's a classic. I think it's an SL Merc. Could even be a Granada. Oh, it's a Ford! Whoa, 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 it's a Ford! No, it's not. Yeah, it is. I think it is. It is. It's a Granada! Whoa! Well, let's pull alongside it. It's a Granada, I think. What is it? It's getting away! It's a Granada, it's getting away! I don't think you'll be able to see it though. I'm so sorry. That's what I'm talking about. He's in front of us now. Ace 706. Well, look, we've got in front of him. We're going to get a good shot. 2.8 injection Ghia X. I thought it was a Ghia X. Champagne gold then. Look at that. See, we're out and about in our classics, folks. PC never lets you down. He always gets you the classics. Woo! I think I can smell some oil. No, that's not. It's okay. I'm alright. I thought I was burning then. I'm okay. Bloody hell, I was saying there was no traffic, and now look, the place is rammed. What a bit of a Ford convoy. Hey. I'm very pleased about this. See you in a sec. Wow, the Granada's still with us. We're like 30 miles in. We're still with the Granada. Some of the roadworks. Oh no, we're not reached the toll bit yet. I was going to say some of the roadworks are gone, but they haven't. They're coming up. Yeah, there we go. Thought it's too good to be true. Yeah, Granada is still with us. He's a bit of a Bill Withers. He's still going. Ain't no sunshine, baby. Ain't no sunshine when the Granada leaves. Straight back, straight in. The behemoth is here. Please tell me on the chat how I pronounce behemoth. Please. Be gargantuan, huge. It's in electronic engine tune-up. Yeah. A monster. Why they build it so wide, we're never gonna know. I'm sure you could have got that different. Look at the size. You like what we've done with the place? And what goodies have we got? Well, some of the stuff the manuals, let's go on to the manuals. I know you love this on a Friday. The old manual investigation to see what documentation there is. Let's grab, pop it on the floor, and we'll go down to floor level and do this. Yeah, let's get a box to put them in a minute. So here's the manuals. What have we got? Let's see, start from the top. Pulling and extracting tools from Sykes Pick of Ants, or just Sykes there. St Anne's on Sea. There you go. Nice little history book there from Sykes. Various devices. What's this? Okay, here we go. Is this a circuit diagram? Could it be? No, I don't think so. Supplementary motor trade. Ruby, Elf and Wolseley Hornet. No use to me, so there's a circuit diagram there. So that's for the Wolseley Elf. These are the green Crypton tune-up sheets. We know those. Hey, someone's filled one out. Look. To the owner, B. Hingley and Sons. Lion Chain Works, Cradley, Heath Worley. It's a Jaguar LNP 180k. Look at that. A 2.8 Jag. And I think the 7th of the 8th, 71 is it? Or is it 77? Can't tell on this date. What do you think that date is? So someone's Mr. Hingley and Son Limited, or B. Hingley and Sons Limited. I can't see. That's obviously a company. Is it B. Hingley and Sons Limited in Heath Worley? It's got their Jag in. Battery volts 12. Coil volts 11.5. Non-ballast. Coil switch volts. Starter load 11. 2 volts. 2 volts. Distributor volt drop 2 volts. condension, HT wiring, number 3 lead, new connection. There's your patterns, cylinder balance. So somebody's been getting a tune up. Now some more sheets here, folks. This is the exciting part. Bulletin for spark plugs, technical bulletins. Okay, looks like this is all just tech bulletins. Tech bulletins all the way there. Is that a folder for it? Fuel troubles are ended as soon as you've fitted a Zenith filter. Solex carburetors. Oh, a slide. Some negatives. Wow. Oh, a classic on the slides. And looks like... Is that a woman on there? We've got a car on there. What is it? Is it a Capri? Looks like a Capri. Or is it an MG? No, I think that's an MG. Can't tell. Up to the light for you. Let's just readjust this camera because it's pointed right down. That's better. Sorry about that. And who's this? Interesting. Can't tell. Looks like Brian May. Can't tell. That might be an MG. So that's an interesting little thing. Some photographs. What else? There's something looking colourful. '68 engine test data. You'll have the obligatory adverts. Yep, there they are. We love these. With the rest of the test kit. Your power flash gun. I was telling you about that logo, and there it is on the gun. Power flash. A timing periscope, so you can get right down there and see. Exhaust gas analyzer there. Mobile test stand. Nice. We'll get another advert on this side, hopefully. Yeah. Your test chargers. Some of them on eBay at the moment. Drop tester. Apart from that, pretty much done and dusted there. Underneath here, more tech bulletins. Perhaps this is the folder for them all. Technical topics. Transistor regulator. Ooh. Do you know what causes this? Look, this is interesting. Bit of help analysing our circuits. Oops, I see something Ford there. Ford Pinto 602 litre TC. That's good. So that dates this manual. If it's got Ford Pinto, it was going to be 1970, when that engine was starting to come out at 71. Although it does say Ford USA. Oh, 71, there you go. We're in. March 71 tech bulletin. And 70 tech bulletin. Nice. Very nice indeed. Lovely little piece to go with this machine. What else have we got? Anything else? That's all tech bulletin, so no big reveals as such. Gas analyzer is that. Vacuum unit. All really tech stuff. Technical topics. Balancing carbs. The Weber twin choke carburetors. Technical topics, distributor vacuum unit. Okay, into the box for that. That's about it for the manuals. Let's go inside because we pinched them out of it. Just center the camera. Centering the camera again now. So what we got in here? That's broke, but can we get that to go back? Something in here. More sheets. More test record sheets. some fag ends. Oh. Another negative. That looks pretty gone. Don't think we'll get anything out of that. Another negative. Gone. Destroyed. Some fittings. Ignition fittings, a water pipe fitting. HT plug caps. Nothing really particularly interesting there. A wee bottle of scotch. Come on camera, do your stuff and track where I'm pointing. Empty. It is Fisher lager, strong lager, Fisher strong lager, Tesco 129, old school Tesco price label there. £1.29, your bottle of beer, not really gone up that much, Peroni's £2. Fisher, nice little bottle cap. One for Ali Mac, a wee bottle of scotch. Our leads to connect up the scope. Straightforward enough, another negative. This time readable. I'm looking up to the light. There's a lady on here. Handy the lens, might be able to get these printed for some lady and a baby, so someone's got a newborn, so it's a family shot. A family shot there. Family shot photograph. Talking a shot. It's like Jack Regan's been in. No, Jack from Get Carter, because we've got ourselves an Ely Impacts live round. We've got a live round. Oh, wow. A shotgun cartridge. There's our detonator, and it is not pinged. So you have got yourself one live, is it 12 bore? It is 2.6 mil. It's a 65 mil cartridge. Oh, ripe and ready for a bank job. Wow, dangerous. Some kind of screw adapter. We've got another adapter there, airline adapter of some kind. Wow, shotgun cartridge, crazy. Some leaves here. Oh, whoa! I heard something rattling, but we didn't. I saw a bit of chrome, but I didn't know. What? Could this be the gold? A Riley grill. That's in good order too. The chrome's not damaged. A Riley grill. So someone at that garage, because I saw a photograph. No, it wasn't a picture of a Riley. Is it worth anything? Do we have a value? Can we have got something? Have we got an eBay piece of kit here? Can we eBay this? Can we ID it? What's it off? Riley Elf, is it? I don't know. Don't know these cars. This G clamp. What the hell is this? Is it a pump? It's a beer. Is it a beer? I think that's solid brass. Is that off a beer dispenser from the bar? Is that the clamp that you clamp it to? Oh no, is that a beer keg? You know, for pulling a pint. I don't know. Answers on a postcard. I think it is, isn't it? Are we pulling a pint with that one? Oh, postcard. Little racing car. This is from Grand Famous MG Marks. Someone liked their MGs. I think we saw some models of those. Don't know what collector card that is. So some of those motoring, another one there, faded out and burned out. Can't even identify that. A front lens, nearly a unipart halogen glass front. Someone gets a stone chip and breaks theirs. We'll have to see whose that is. It's a Lucas 7837. Is it Mini Metro? No, I don't think so. Bit of trim. Bit of side trim, but again, I'll never ID that. You never know, someone might need one of those. I know in Cortina land, anything to do with chrome trim's always tricky. Feel with the hands. I think that's about your lot. Oh no, that's another beer keg. If they are, if not, there's a pair of something for something. Wow, bit of objet d'art. Anything else? Anybody else want to come forward? Is this a sticker? It is a sticker. A window sticker for something. Have to peel it back. It looks like it goes from the front inside your screen. So this is a period sticker for something. I'll let you know in a minute. Need two hands to get it. Can't quite tell. Toughened. No, can't tell. It says toughened. Definitely one of them like window stickers. I need two hands as usual. Oh no, it's going at the corner. It's gone. It's gone. Well done. There you go. We're gonna get it now. No, don't tell me it's Crypton. My God, please, no. It's a Crypton tune sticker. Wow, it must have come with the machine. Crypton tune, we can copy it. Wow. A Crypton tune sticker for the car. What a great find. Yes. Look, I'll just give you a sneaky preview. I'm not going to pull it all off now. Look. Didn't think they'd have it in blue. Well, who cares? That's a nice piece. Wow, we can get them done for each car. So that's about it. Some fag ends there, and then there's a little off-cut tear of paper with another edge of a sticker. I don't know what I was going to say, an F and an L. Another little piece of paper. Some kind of chitty or receipt. Could be a phone number on it. That's your lot for that. So let's have a look at the controls now. Move these spark plugs out of the way. Close that up, there's nothing else. We'll put everything back inside later. So it's in a messy condition, very rusty. There's our water transfer Crypton. There, we're going to have to get them made. Here's our Dynavision, a dent on the edge. We're going to have to get that out. We don't know if the tube's any good or not. We've got ourselves a tube. You've got your projector controller here with a Dynavision decal or logo faded off, Crypton here. And then similar to the other controllers we've got, pattern select. Here, I don't know what these gauges are yet. We've got volts and RPM and spark advance. Two straightforward gauges, the inputs on the front of them. That's a standalone unit then. So they've done that differently. So what you've got with this model is, it's just completely modular. Basically it's just a rack to hold a scope reading, and then pretty much a vac gauge. There's not going to be anything complicated in there. And you've got this device which I've never seen before. They call it a power, air and fuel ratio. So it's got to be a gas analyzer, which is never going to be accurate. It's got no chance. So but you know, we can clean it up. It looks like we've lost whatever logo is going to be printed on there is gone, so I'm going to have to try and find a copy, same model that's not lost that decal, because that's gone. This isn't illuminated, it's a fixed sign. It looks like it should be illuminated. I don't see, you'd think that would light up. I don't think they're stick-on plastic onto a metal back. I don't think it's illuminated. It looks like it should light up. Why have that like that? Separate. Why not just, why would you have a separate? I mean, it looks stylish. It just seems to me that we'll have to have a look in their best plate as well. It's interesting. They're reg plate makers, aren't they? Someone's just stuck that on, perhaps. So the Monster, what do you get on that? This doesn't give. In fact, I think this gives more. Ford gives you more. It's a behemoth. And you're going to get fed up of me saying that word. I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm sick of saying it. So I don't even pronounce it bloody properly. You know, things I do for these Friday night chats. And also the standalone videos too, aren't they? So hopefully we'll get some more views. We only get 2,000 views, but as previously discussed, not bothered about that no more. If they come, they come. We are not going out. The super chatters and the patrons are all we need to keep these going. And as promised, because of last week's donations, I went out and I bought this. I probably wouldn't have got it. Well, I think I would have got it, and that's my limit. But now I'm just going to keep on going. If I keep getting, 2,000 views and some super chats, I'm going to keep on going. Well, I'm going to run out of room. The idea is we're going to line all the Cryptons in a row there. This, of course, is on its way out. It's getting stripped down. I thought that was big. Why make it so big? Why so serious? Why so serious? I don't know why. That's just a standalone unit. That just comes out. That's just the scope box. That's just that box on its side. It's actually identical, but it's just that the switch will be different. It'll be orientated. It's, different way round, but that's just another scope box. So, £1 to a penny, all the caps will have blown in this. £1 to a penny. This one, well, we've no idea how that works yet. So that is it. We delivered. We did 100 and I think I got to 200 miles on 45 quid worth of fuel. Is that any good? I don't know. I have to go and work that out. It seems okay. 200 miles, 45 quid seems too good to be true. But I landed back at that petrol station I set off from, having zeroed the meter when I set off this morning. Came back 209 miles. And the gauge was back where it started when I rolled into the service station. So £45 for 200 miles. I think it was 30 litres, 31 litres did 209 miles for 31 litres of fuel. I need to go and put that into the machine, see what we actually got. No idea. Okay, so yeah. I'm going to clean this up, put this stuff away, make some room because quickly everything's going to get out of control. And we'll catch you in a sec. I'm just going to do a quick tidy up and just assess the situation in a sec. Well, I've just started taking this to bits just to see how it works. It's all very modular, it just has multi-plugs on each module. So here we've got the Spark Advance, the volts RPM unit. That's in a self-contained module with that plug there, which goes to a kind of breakout box inside the back of the machine. Inside here, it's on a copper base. It looks in good order, to be fair. Some caps that will need replacing if we're going to use this, but it's quite basic. Not a lot of components in this. That should be easy to get going. It'll be difficult to restore because it's got, as opposed to the other units I've been working on, these aluminium cases here which won't come up without a fight. And it doesn't come with the timing lamp and it's got a transducer pickup. So this is interesting how this one works. 2 separate units would come with this timing gun and a transducer pickup, which I don't know how that would work. There's no manual with this. So that is what we've got on this module: spark advance and volts and RPM. Now the senior and the junior does that have spark advance? Yeah, that does have ignition. They call it ignition advance here. Volts and RPM on that side. I think that these are better because there's more in one compact unit. Again, with this one, more in one compact unit, but you get on this, you get some extra features on this. It's right, slightly wider. In my opinion, the best model out of the 3 is this, because it virtually does everything that you want in a compact space. It's neater, easier to move around. This, it seems overkill. It's such a large chassis. It's got a really nice sign, but unfortunately isn't illuminated. I'm sure they're perspex though on top of metal, so I bet they've got little pins at the back of them. We'll take that off and have a look. This is the same as the other screens. They all have the same plug. Here we've got the power air fuel thing, and that comes with a device which I hope we've brought with us. Yeah, it's over here. Quite a complex device. It's got a multi-core wire with at least 6 or 8 cables going to this very strange looking unit. Clips onto the exhaust, I'm sure. Very strange. Oh yeah, that goes in the tailpipe there. So that's the sniffer. And inside here is a very complex, some kind of analyzer. Looks like it's a sealed unit. That will most likely never get that going. I wouldn't have thought. Not because that's sealed. So really, that's a tricky one. It'd be nice to open it up and see what's inside there, but chances of getting that working for the effort we're going to have to put in for the result that we get compared to modern electronics is not really going to be worth it, which would make this redundant. You know, it's going to make that just really superfluous and redundant. I'd like to see what's inside it in terms of electronics, but this is, you know, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of components I would have thought in this just to get looks like a gas analyzer. What's it saying? Rich, idle, normal and lean. So yeah, definitely gas. And then individual cylinder output. So somehow, I'd love to know how that's working. It could be that the gauge is used for an electronic measurement and it's also used for the gas analyzer, so it's doing 2 jobs, which is why it probably has that multi-plug. Let's have a look at the back, which would connect into the coil pickups and the HT leads and probably work something out from that. So it's sharing some of the information. This is that multi-plug. It's like a bus really. It's a T adapter there that goes in the side, and it shares all the same pickups. You're using 4 pickups. Your coil here, I think that's going to go across your, one of them's definitely going to be ground. 2 pickups there running the whole show in conjunction with the King lead cable and spark plug number 1 cable. From that info, it must be reading and using it on the probably the upper part of that gauge and the lower part of the gauge, depending on when you select on here, would ignore the gas analyzer and switch to using this, reading the information off those cables I just showed you. So that may half work. You might get the top bit to go, but I don't think you'll get the gas analyzer working on that without doing some serious work to this. If it does work, it's not going to be accurate. I can't see it myself. It depends on the technology. They've got eight wires. I think it's 8 wires. Let's get the end of the cable and just see. We accidentally cut this. We thought that this was just a vac tube or a sniffer tube, if you will. I didn't realise it was electronic. We had to get out of that garage. somewhere there's an end to this cable. There it is, there's the end to the cable. It is, oh, it's only one 5-core. You've got a 5-core cable running this. So inside there is some form of electronics to measure the gas. But it doesn't look serviceable, it looks sealed. Plus, if I was going to measure the gas, I'd just have a standalone unit. I wouldn't bother trying to work on it. It'd be nice to get it going. It could be something for the future. So, and this is all show and no go, because all that is a gauge. All this space is dead. So there's a hell of a lot of wasted space with this machine. All that space there's wasted. Then this is just a filing cabinet at the bottom. So really, whilst it looks impressive, they haven't made use of all of the room. You could pack all sorts of stuff in here. And these are small gauges too. So you've got to be up to the machine, and nothing's lit up. This one has nice lights under it, and at least looks the part. And there's a chance we can get this going, and the gas analyzer on this one is separate, look. So you could retrofit modern electronics into that and build an adapter to get the gauge to deflect. That's got possibilities, and it's period. So if you're going to do a gas analyzer, I'll be using this. So it's either going to be this one or this compact one. In fact, the compact one, you could actually fit that gas analyzer to it, because there's room here. It's got the bracket for it to slide in. So the favourite really is this. But having said that, this sign, which I do like, could fit onto that machine. We could make a plinth. You see how they've done that there, and they've put that electronic tune-up sign. That would look good on top of here. And you could uplight it if you want. You could do something. So it's like a slight modification to this, just to bring it out. So perhaps we'll do this model and maybe even fix that one up, but probably use this as our working machine and try and get this to be the one alongside our 335. Now, the 335, I love the way it's designed. To me, because you can cut out the cylinders individually, I don't think I could live without that feature. And I love this large screen, and I love the digital volts. So my favourite is this machine in terms of the way that it looks, and it's easy to use, and you've got all these features. So if you're going to do serious engine analysing, this is the best unit to have. It's the easiest to restore, and also I've got a feeling that these are pretty reliable once you've found out those common faults with those capacitors. Very easy to work on, very modular and easy to access. So that really is very well built. These look nice and probably, you know, are well built, but are difficult to get calibrated simply because the modules, let's take this one for example, let's come out of it. The modules they are all valve operated. Having said that, there shouldn't be much to have to calibrate, but if some resistors have dropped and stuff, I mean, yeah, we could do something. You're gonna need some analysing kit to get it running. It'd be a fun project, I must admit, to get the old school electronics going, and at least you could use the Crypton there as a way of sort of referencing it, you know, and getting like some kind of way of measuring what it should be looking like. This is overkill, definitely overkill. It doesn't do as much as what I thought, and really, well, I don't think it's going to be worth spending all the money restoring this cabinet for what you're going to get out of it. It just doesn't have enough bang for the space. I think you're going to have to agree with me there that that's just a big storage cabinet. You know, I don't really see the point. So for now, for space reasons, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the scope out. It's only one bolt, we had that out to transport it. Take these units out, and I'm going to store this outside. It isn't going to get any rustier than that because I've not much room. I don't want to blow all my room out of the way. So I'll probably pop that outside for now. I'll take that sign off, then move everything back out of the way, because very quickly you can just run out of control, you know, and you'll have nowhere to park the car at night, all this mess everywhere. So what we've got to do is get any vulnerable bits off this to store indoors. The scope module, by the way, I forgot to mention, I took that out as well. That just plugs out. Casing off the back, and it's the same, exact same module as the others. So if anything, we've got some great spares here and reference material. This has done the same fault. The caps have gone short. I can already tell because it's this valve here, this diode here, diode valve has blown. You can see it's gone milky. There's a crack in the glass, so that's dead. Not most likely these caps have gone short and took that diode out, that rectifier valve out. Probably be able to fix this, and it could be a spare unit to service the other ones. It does give us a bit more info too, because it's got the well, it's not undamaged, but it's got the slightly different adjusting cover plate. This says Dynavision on there, so we're going to be using that as a reference to make our plate graphics, screen print graphics, whatever we use. That and that scope work together as a standalone unit that can probably work without the other modules attached. It's just a scope that picks up the low tension side of the coil and the high tension side of the coil, much the same that all these three do over there. So we've got this, it's been handy, and it's nice to have it in. It does complete the full set of machines. The worst case we could do, we could probably spray it, paint it. I mean, to save money on this one, maybe I'm going to spray this one instead of spending money on powder coat, because it can be expensive. I'll have to make a decision what I do, but what I will do is break it down. Don't take long to do. Take the scope out, take that sign off, take that power air fuel ratio analyzer unit out. They can be stored inside. I'm going to, for now, just put it outside. It's not going to damage it any more than that. So that's what we've got. An interesting little trip. Would I buy another one of those? No, probably not. Unless it was really mint. Does it look good? Yeah, in the right place. That could be a good prop. It could be just painted, decal back up and run with just the scope going perhaps. Or you could feed just some false info into these and have it as a display piece. Or you never know, we might be able to get it going. Doubt it though, simply because measuring exhaust gas is, I would say, it's a pretty much precise operation. You can't just kind of like put a voltmeter across. You're talking about measuring gases. So how they did it in the 60s, I'm not sure. Does Wheatstone Bridge ring a bell? Can't remember. Is that when you've got, I don't know, but there's I'd love to know what's inside this. If anything, I'd love to know what's inside this. So I might open that up at some point. For now, I'm going to put all the bits and bobs inside. See if that Riley grill's worth anything on eBay, and then make some space, clear up, because we've got to keep on with the other jobs. You know, capacitors are going to be beginning to arrive soon to get the rest of these modules running, and also this needs fully breaking down to start getting the cabinet rebuilt. This cabinet's getting rebuilt first on the senior. That's the granddad. So you got baby, you've got junior, you've got senior, and you've got granddad. That's the full range of machines. So as I said to you, it's crazy that they've got all that space there that they don't use, you know. Anyway, something to think and bear in mind. These units aren't in bad order inside, and as the eBay advert described, they have been dry stored. That's not rusty, it's a pretty clean unit. It's in good condition. In fact, that's probably tidier than the others I've got. But anyway, that's how it is. It's a slightly different dial face because this is designed to work vertically, whereas the others, if you look, these work horizontally. Okay, that plate's actually in good order. There's plenty. We've got spares, we've got bits, we've enjoyed doing it. But yeah, this will be last on the list, that's for sure. So I'm going to make some room. I'll catch you in a sec. Switch off for a second while I make some space in the workshop and get this parted out. See you in a sec. PC. Goodbye from Bramble. She did us well on that run, that motorway run there. We had a great cruise in the car. Tina G's just outside, Swampy and Ruby in the stable next door. Pete C bringing it down slowly, this device getting stripped. The behemoth is already stripped right down. Its parts are scattered all across the universe. And of course, our pièce de résistance, it ain't too beaucoup. That's a nice little bit of Alabama black snake right there. It ain't too damn beaucoup. $5 for you. We shall see you maybe next week. We'll see how YouTube goes. If you can think of any way of helping this channel grow, why not spam some links out on some forums? Spread the word. This ain't no car review show. This ain't no unboxing video show. This ain't no Mickey Mouse cat flap show. This is Cortina City. We put a lot of work into these films. I spend time out on the road because I enjoy it and because I like sharing it with you folks on Patreon and YouTube land. Some people asking me, what the hell's Patreon? It's a crowdfunding site. The funds from Patreon keep on keeping the videos going, as does the YouTubers with their super chats. We don't make anything out of the views anymore because there's just nothing in it. I've said this time and time again. I appreciate everything that everybody's done for me. That 99.99% of positivity, which is what you've got to concentrate on. We keep the fleet running. There's plenty to pick from. Look at that grime from that M6, M5 run. Come on, Bramble, you're going to need a clean up. You're covered in grime. And with that word grime, we leave you to another time. Bringing you down nice and easy does it. We'll catch you next week. Don't forget, your water, your nettle tea. Unless you're from Scotland. Pete C over and out, and thank you very much for the comments in the chat box, the comments on the video itself. I'll try and respond to everybody. The super chatters and the Patreons and everybody else that helps run things for me and keep it going and spreads the word. We'll try and save as many Cortinas from getting scrapped and broken as we can. At the moment there's nothing exactly in my power to do. There are 2 potential cars out there, but it's early days on those. Over and out, down we go. See you next week.